Hey everyone, my name is Masha and today I'm here with my friend Natalie.
Hello.
And I'm going to be teaching her how to make a candy stripe. Right, so I've already made one row, actually 2 rows, to help Natalie along with the beginning of the bracelet, because that is the hardest bit that you might get wrong. But we're going to start by learning how to make regular knots. So we're going to take 2 threads and we're going to put these to the side, and I'm just going to show you how to do it, alright? What I'm doing now is called a forward knot, and a forward knot takes the string from left to right. So I'm going to be moving the string, and then I'm also going to be making a knot. Tell me if there's something you don't understand. So, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the string that I'm making the knot onto, and this is the string that I'm making the knot with.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the string over.
Yeah.
Alright, like in the 4, like a shape of a 4.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put my finger inside, like that, and twist it over.
And pull it round.
Pull it round. Yeah. So essentially what I did is I just twisted the string
round that one.
Round, and I put it in the loop.
Yeah.
And then I tie it. That's 1/2 of the knot. And I need to do the same thing again to complete the knot.
Okay.
So again, putting it on top and pulling it under and through into the loop.
Right, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I tie it again. So I'm done with this knot. You see the thread was moved from left to right.
Yeah.
And I've done a knot.
Yeah.
That's called a forward knot. We bring the string forward by 1. Now we're going to take the next string and we're going to try and do the same. So we continue. There's one, with the candy stripe, there's one string and you bring it along. So you're moving it from left to right. Well, I like doing it forward knots. You can do it with backward knots, but I prefer forward knots.
Okay.
So we're moving the string along from left to right along all of those.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to try doing it?
Okay.
So take this with your left hand and this with your right hand.
Alright.
Make a 4 shape. I prefer to like stick out my finger like this so I can hold it.
Okay. And then that under there.
Yeah, pull it through, tie it. And yeah, that's fine. And then do it again. You're the quickest learner I've ever had. Yeah, you pull it through so they don't do that. You're the quickest learner I've literally ever had.
Oh,
Everyone I've
good.
ever taught how to make knots took much longer than you did. Yeah. Okay, now you put
and then that one goes that way because it's
no, that's the string that you're using. So that one continues going on to the other ones. The one that you've made the knot onto is the one that you put
So
aside.
we always use this one.
Yes. So for you're doing a row with this string.
Right.
So you continue taking the next ones.
Then we put that round there, that under there.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. And then we do it again because that's a half loop, and that makes a forward loop. Yeah. And then we put that there, and then we grab one of these.
Yeah, you always grab the closest one, because otherwise it's going to be a mess.
This, what one?
Yeah, that's the one that's closest.
This one?
Yeah.
And then we pull that round.
Nice. A lot of people, when they're making knots, they use their entire hand to pull the string through. I feel like that's unnecessary and I just use my finger. I feel like that's just much quicker.
Yeah, otherwise you get in a muddle.
I'm a little bit annoyed because the first time I ever tried making bracelets, I was so bad. Okay,
so
now
what
you've
do I
gotten
do?
to the end, so you've completed the row with this string. So now you're going to bring all the strings back, and you're going to take the next one that's on the left, and you're going to bring that one to the right. So do you know what I mean? You're bringing each string, once you get to the end of the row, you're going to take the next one and do the same thing with it.
Okay, so them 2 we can put them up there.
So you're always bringing the one that's to the most left. You're always bringing it to the right.
So if you was only doing it with, because you've done double strings, obviously if you was only doing it with one layer, you'd only do one loop, one knot. Is that right? Or do you always do?
No, so I decided, you mean 2 strings of each colour?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I chose 2 strings of each colour because, okay, look here. So you see, for the red one, for example, there's 2 rows of the red.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it means when you use 2 strings of the same colour. You just make the stripe a little bit thicker.
Right,
That
but
doesn't
whenever you're
depend-
making a loop, you have to knot it twice.
Yes, because half of it is
not.
just half of it.
Right, okay.
Do you know what? The entire point of this video was to like show my subscribers that when you're starting out, you're really bad, and then as you get better, you get better. But you just sort of, you know, ruined that entire thing for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe Jamie won't be as good. I'll tell her, Jamie, don't be good at making friendship bracelets or Maria will kill you.
No, I'm joking. It's fine.
I feel like because I've got small hands, it helps as well because I get my fingers around the knot quick.
Yeah. But you just got it straight away. Like, people get so confused. They keep asking me about, oh, how do you do the knot again? Or like, what do you do now? You're just doing it. Okay, let's just compare. See that? It's nice and beautiful. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit again. Okay, see that? That's nice and beautiful. The row is made perfectly. By the way, coincidentally, I just chose the exact same colours that I when I was making my first bracelet. But this is my first bracelet. It's not amazing.
Mine's definitely better.
You can see that they're like the knots sort of bleed through, and it's just not
Sorry,
great. Yeah. Oh.
That's amazing how much them colours have faded.
I was wearing it for a while, so the colours have faded quite a lot. This might not be the first bracelet I did, actually, now that I think of it. But it's definitely the first bracelet that I wore for a while.
So even when you
wore
started
this.
making them, like you didn't really wear them.
I mean, I still don't wear them. I keep them in my box, I don't wear them.
Mm. So if you didn't, what got you into making them then? Like if you never made them to actually wear them?
Just for fun, I don't know, I find it really relaxing.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I've mentioned this in previous videos as well, like I was talking about, I don't know why I even make them. But I find the whole process really relaxing and rewarding because you're doing this like tedious task, right?
Yeah.
And then you see the result of it really quickly.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I've gone wrong. I've put the orange one round the yellow one instead of the yellow one round the orange one. Yeah.
I mean, that happens. Do you want to undo it?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see. I think you did actually 2. I think you did the orange knot and then you also did the yellow knot, so I'm going to undo them. Actually, no, you didn't make 2 knots. You did everything correctly. Now that I undid the first one, you did everything correctly, but you just pulled on the string and it sort of brought the orange string through it. So you can continue. I've undone 1, so you have to make the other half on this one. One half is already made. You have to make the other half on this one,
loop
and then
on
2
that
on this one.
Okay.
So yeah, you did everything correctly, logically, but you pulled on the string a little bit too hard, and it pulled the orange one through.
Okay.
So to avoid that from happening, when you make the knot, I sometimes pull on the orange, like on the. So you're making a knot with the yellow one onto the orange one.
Yeah.
So
I've made that
pull
knot.
the one that I'm making the knot onto, so it doesn't.
And then
bleed
pull that
through.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that it doesn't sort of, because when you're pulling the knot up, it might push the other one out. So
yeah.
I
hold it.
hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've made 1 on that one. Now make
Yeah.
2
on
on
this one.
Yeah.
And then finish the row with the yellow one, and we're gonna continue into something more interesting.
Done.
Alright, cool. I think it looks very neat
Thank you.
and lovely. And you can see that the bracelet's starting going to the right because
Yeah.
we keep moving the strings from left to right. So
Yeah.
all the strings, they started off in the middle and now they're all to the right because they've all been moved. And that's just going to
So then when you
continue
tie
happening.
it.
Yeah, it's gonna go in a diagonal, and then
Yeah.
But that's fine because when you put it on your wrist, it's
Yeah.
not really gonna make a difference. But yeah, there you go. That's forward knots. Using forward knots, we're moving the string from left to right, making the stripes. So now let's get into reading a pattern. So now we're gonna go into making a pattern, and I'm gonna link the pattern down below in case any of you want to make it. But yeah, let's get into the explanation. So look at the pattern, right? See, it's divided into rows. You can see there are 8 rows. They're numbered.
Yeah.
So we're going to try, there are different ways of making a pattern. So you can do it row by row, Or you can do it in segment knotting, which is what I like to do, but I'm not going to get into that now. Let's do the row by row method, which is the one that people usually start with, which is more simple to understand originally.
Okay.
So you see the first row.
Yep.
You see at the top there are strings sticking out.
Yep.
Those represent the threads that you have here. So
Okay.
the black one for you is the green one.
Yep.
The orange one is the pink one.
Yep.
They're all divided into pairs. You see that?
Yep.
Divide the first pair as it is in the pattern. And then put the other ones to the side so they don't get in the way.
Very long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so you've divided the first pair.
Yeah.
And you see it represented in the pattern right there.
Yeah.
See there's a knot between them with
Yeah.
the black.
Yeah.
In your case, that's the green. The knot is represented as a forward knot because it's going to the right. That is called a forward knot.
Okay.
And that is exactly what I taught you how to do, so just do that.
Okay.
Alright, so now you've made a knot on that pair. Put it aside.
Okay. And
Let
grab
me,
the next.
let me just look at it first. Something looks weird. No, it's fine. I'm just going to push it a little bit to the side because it was a bit off.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine. The knot was made correctly, it's just a little bit off. Okay, yeah, grab the next pair as it
Okay.
is in the pattern. The next pair you see is 2 orange ones, which in your case is 2 pink ones, right?
Yeah.
You always grab the ones that are closest, so you're not just going to grab 2 random pink ones.
Yeah.
You're going to grab the 2 closest pink ones.
Yeah.
And
And then
again,
make a forward knot.
yeah, you can see the pattern, it's a forward knot, so you're going to make a forward knot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Put it to the side.
Yeah, put it
Next
to the side. And next one.
And then this one's a backward knot.
Yes, the last pair is a backward knot, and this might get a little bit confusing because it's literally the opposite. So let me
Okay.
show you how to do it first before.
Okay.
I'm going to make one half of it and then you're going to make the other half, okay? So it's literally the same thing, but the opposite direction. So you do it like this. So you're bringing, a forward knot brings the string from the left to the right along a string. Backward
Yeah.
knot brings the string backwards from the right to the left.
Right. Okay.
So we're doing it with the green string onto the pink string. So you make a backwards 4
Yeah.
and do the same thing.
And then
pull it through, but with the other hand, and also not doing that because
And then
we
hold
don't
the
need that.
pink one. Pull
yeah,
the green.
pull the pink one and tie the green one.
Okay.
And try the other one.
That's gonna feel really weird.
Yeah. Do it with the other hand. So with the forward knot, you hold the thread in the left hand and you make the knot with the right hand.
Yeah.
This way, hold the thread in the right hand and pull.
This
So
way
put,
or the other
put
way?
this one in your right
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Stick your finger out. Put the thread onto it, and then use your other hand to pull it through.
That feels really weird.
Yeah. That's where people get mostly confused, is with backward knots.
Yeah, because you're not that way. It doesn't feel natural, does it, to do that?
Yeah, because you're already used to the first one.
Yeah.
It feels weird to do the other one. But
Okay.
yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, so you've done the first row, sorry. Well done.
Thank you.
So for the second row, so for the first row you saw you did 4 knots, and you can see that represented in the pattern, right?
Yeah.
Second row is 3 knots.
Right.
And you can also see in the second row that on either side you have a string that is unused.
Yeah.
So take 2 strings from either side and throw them away. Like to the sides.
So it needs to be the pink one.
Yes, the pink ones, just throw them to the sides because you're not going to be using them. Right, so now again you do the same thing, you divide them.
Oh.
You divide them into pairs and you follow the pattern as it says.
Very fiddly.
Mm-hmm. So the idea is that you're making knots between pairs of strings, but then you're changing the pairs each time. And that's how it sort of weaves it all together.
So this one is 2 pink ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And by changing the pairs, you're going, it's like you're doing these 2 pairs, then those 2 pairs, then these 2
Yeah, and then
pairs,
you bring
those
the
2
green over
pairs. Yeah,
to do the...
and it sort of weaves them in the way that you want them. What's this?
This one's a backward one.
This one's a backward knot. So you change hands. So
Okay.
you were doing the knot with your right hand and you were holding it with the other one. Change them this time.
So,
When you're doing the knot, you also don't want all of these strings to get in the way, so you sort of might want to push them out a little bit.
okay.
Right, there you go, well done, that was the second row.
Thank you.
Let's do the third row now.
So now I bring it all of them back. So, and then 4 pairs this time.
Yeah, so it goes,
So-
it alternates. 4, 3, 4, 3.
Right, okay.
That's how it weaves it all together.
So 2 forward and 2 backwards.
It doesn't have to be 2 backwards. So when you're doing a knot between 2 strings of the same colour, it doesn't matter what knot you do, because they're both the same colour. But when you're doing 2 knots between strings that are different colour, it really matters what knot you do.
Yeah, because it depends then what colour.
So for the
Will be
last
the
one,
knot.
you said 2 forward, 2 backwards. You can do that, it won't make a difference, but that's not what the pattern says. The pattern says 2 forward, 1 backward, and then another 1 forward. Okay, so now we've done a little bit of the pattern. Would you say that you understand the logic behind reading patterns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I now teach you my way?
Yeah. Go
Okay.
for it.
So now, what I like to do is called segment knotting,
Right.
which means that instead of going row by row, pair by pair, which takes a long time, I prefer to just do a bunch of knots with 1 string, as much as I can for that go, and then continue to another string. So it doesn't take that much time because I don't switch my strings all the time and I don't divide it into pairs. You see that we're on row 4. You can see from the 4th row, the black string in the middle, the 2 black strings in the middle, they make a knot between each other, and then they go their separate ways. One of them goes all the way down to row 7 to the left, and the other one goes all the way down to row 7 to the right.
Yeah.
So we can do that in one go if we want to. We can also see on row 4, which is where we are right now, the 2 strings on the left between the 2 pink ones, they go to the left and make another knot between each other on the left.
Yeah.
And then the same thing on the right, we see that they're 2 forward knots.
Yeah.
So as I said, okay, for example, this is a bit confusing because it is a bit more difficult, but as I said, 2 strings can be whatever knot you like. So for the 2 strings on the right with the pink ones, or the orange ones, let's say on the pattern, right? The orange ones on the right, you see on row 4, they make a forward knot, and on row 5 there's a forward knot.
Yeah.
So that means you're taking the same string, like in the candy stripe, you're taking the same string and you're making 2 knots on 2 different strings.
Yeah.
So for the ones on the left, you can do the same thing and just turn them into backward knots because it doesn't matter what knots you do because they're the same colour.
Yeah.
So you can just make 2 backward knots. So let's try that. We're going to start by dividing the pairs for the 4th row. So 1 string is extra on the left, so you're not going to use it. And you're going to take the ones that are...
So we don't want that one.
Yeah, and you're just going to take the first pair.
Yeah.
And instead of making a forward knot as it says on the pattern, we're going to do a backward knot because it doesn't matter. But by making a backward knot, it's going to be easier for us because we then also have to make a knot onto this string later. So do a backward knot.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it makes sense more when you're doing it.
Okay, let's try.
But
I think it'll make more sense with the green one than with the pink ones.
Yeah.
Because the green one is more clearly visible what you're doing. This is a bit more complicated. I wouldn't recommend people just starting out to do this, really. I just want to show you that there are other ways. So once if you're going to go home and you're going to continue making this pattern, I would recommend you continue making it as the pattern suggests, row by row. But I just want to demonstrate that there are more ways of doing it.
Okay.
So you've made a backward knot. Pick the string that you did the backward knot with, which is the one that moved to the left, so it's this one. And then make another backward knot onto this one. And this is going to be the one from row 5.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So you did one from row 4, and now you skipped a row, and you're doing the one on row 5 as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we've done that. Now we're going to ignore the black ones, the green ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go to the other pair on the right with the pink ones. So what I'm trying to do...
To here.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all the green ones to move at the same time. But to do that, we need to prepare the ones on the edges to be in the right position.
Right.
So this is why we're doing the edges first, and then we're going to go into the green ones.
Okay.
Okay, so here, you see there's a forward knot on row 4 and a forward knot on row 5.
Yeah.
Just do those 2.
As forward knots?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're moving the string to the right. Do you see that represented in the pattern, though?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just
wanted to make sure it was a forward rather than...
No, I don't want you to just be following what I'm saying. I want you to actually understand that that is also represented in the pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So that's following the pattern,
Yes.
but only for that side, so that you can then do the green ones in one go.
Right. So now we've prepared all the strings to the right and to the left, and now we can just do the green ones. So the green ones, there's a knot between the 2 on row 4,
Yeah.
and then they each go to the side. So do the knot between them first, and then we'll discuss the other ones.
Right, yeah.
Alright, so you've done the knot between them. That was on row 4. And then you can see that they each go into their separate directions. Let's start with the one on the right because that's forward knots and that's easier for you. Because you already learned how to do them. So we're going to make a forward knot onto the pink on row 5, then another one on row 6 and another one on row 7. So you have 3 forward knots onto 3 strings, and that's exactly how many strings you have on the right. Yeah, the pink ones, you have 3 strings to the right. So that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, okay. And then it means you're using the same string.
Yeah, because you're using your same string.
All 3 rows.
Which is faster because you're not constantly choosing the different pairs and you're not constantly changing the strings. You're just following the pattern in a different way. Yeah, so see, it's the same pattern.
Yeah, but it means you don't have to stop.
Yeah.
And then you do the same on the other side, but you do backwards.
Yes, exactly.
Instead.
Again, I wouldn't recommend doing this because this can get really confusing. So if you're just starting out, I would recommend just doing row by row. Yeah. Just to get the hang of it, maybe make a few bracelets like that before you try this. But this is just another way, and I wanted you to know that that was an option. And my viewers as well. Is it not weird that we're just making bracelets in my room and people are actually watching this?
Yeah.
I find that so weird. Whenever I post a video and I see people watching and commenting, it's like, that's so strange. I can see on my analytics on YouTube when my videos were watched. So like I can see that like in the past hour, like so many people watched it. And that's so weird.
That is weird.
Like I can think that I mean in this past hour I was washing dishes or something.
Yeah.
Like,
and someone's been watching your video.
Like listening to my voice and watching me do stuff, that's so weird. Alright, there you go. So when you're doing it this way, it sometimes moves the knot in a bit weird way. So you might want to like push it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
We'll just have a little bit of a swirl in it.
Yeah. Fine. So now, we've done the black string all the way from row 4 to row 7. But
now we need to do the pink ones.
Yes, we need. Which one do we need to do first? Which one do you think?
The middle one on row 6.
Exactly, we need to do the middle one on row 6. But we can also see, for the middle one in row 6, you can see that there are 3 forward knots in a row. So in row 6, on row 7, and on row 8.
So you can do all them?
Yes, you can do all them in one go. Alright, well done.
Superb.
Looking good. Look at that. You didn't even make a single mistake.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's honestly amazing.
I'm very impressed with myself there.
Yeah, well done. So now you have 2 bracelets that you can finish at home.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. I really enjoyed this.
You're very welcome. Thank you for teaching me. You're a very good teacher.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You're a beautiful student. It's great.
Oh, what can I say?
Alright. Well, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.